Afternoon, everyone. Um, Seems like everyone is still in the new month mood, so there's not a lot of people online. Can just to establish, can everyone hear me? If you can hear me, just let me know in chat. Just say hi or type Canva so I can know that you can hear me. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Thank you very much for the feedback. Okay. So we, as the assignment last week, received a lot of submissions. In fact, I had a very very busy week, so I didn't check for the link for submission. So it was today when I was preparing my slides, and when I was finalizing it actually, when I opened it and I saw that so many people had submitted their assignment. So first of all, well done on that. It's really good to see that people are becoming more engaged with the training. Good to see that we're having more people attempting and feeling confident enough to attempt to complete assignments. So that's always a good thing to see. Again, if you are not feeling confident enough to like complete an assignment, you don't have to complete it. You don't have to make it look perfect. Just try what you can. Like wherever it is that your understanding of Canvas stops, you can always just submit what you have. And then the good thing about it is that we can come here and then we can talk about it. You can ask questions, we can review what you have. And that's why I always say at any point, if there's something you're not understanding, or maybe there's a concept that I have covered and you tried it and then it's not quite coming out well, you can always come to the classes and then we can walk through it and see how can we help improve your understanding of that particular concept. And that's why it's important to attend live classes because even if you depend on just the YouTube videos, while they might be good to learn things, but there are sometimes when you need like actual like customized feedback on your particular problem. So if you have friends or people that you think can benefit from this class, you can always just tell them to try try the live class and let's so we can like get their feedback on things. So with that said, we'll be starting like always with the assignments and then just looking through it, giving personal feedback on each submission. I don't know if anyone that submitted after like say 12 o'clock today is probably not in the slides because by that time I'd already started finalizing my slides, so I might not have covered any submission after that time. So let me just share my screen now. So just give me a second to share so we can start. But before I share, did anyone do anything interesting or do you have any questions? So we can just start with questions before we dive into today's content. So in comment, you can raise your hand, you can type me a message. If you prefer, you can come up and God will grant you the chance to talk so we can just walk through. If there's anything interesting you designed in the week, you can send it on the group chat so we can see it and then comment on it. Okay, so Hafiz wants to has a comment. So God, please can you bring up Hafiz so we can hear what he has to say?
Yeah, good afternoon, sir.
Hi Hafiz, good afternoon.
Afternoon, sir. I have a little question, maybe just a little challenge.
Okay,
When doing the graphics, which was the more like a shadow.
okay,
So I tried applying a shadow to the mock-up I used, though like not a direct shadow. I only want to create the shadow myself, like the under the phone,
the phone.
the phone this thing. So
Okay,
I tried reducing the transparency.
okay,
But then I feel like there's something they call feather. I don't know. Yeah,
yeah,
so I was trying to like apply something like that. That the edge of the shadow will be fade, but the middle will kind of like peak. It won't be like it won't be the shape of the
okay.
circle won't be that significant there. So I don't know if it's possible to do it, sir. Thank you.
Okay, so you cannot there's no feather feature. I know that means you rarely use like an Adobe tool, so maybe like Photoshop or Corel Draw or something. So we don't have that in Canva. But what you can do is there's a shadow element in Canva that is free. So you can just in elements you can search for shadow. I'll show you how to do that once we get to recreating designs. So we just click on
All right, sir.
elements,
Thank you very
search
much,
for
sir.
shadow, and then you can find the shadow. So thank you very much for that comment. That's really helpful. Okay, so Clement said they did some personal projects. So Clement, please, you can just share it on the WhatsApp group. Are you on the WhatsApp group? So please just share it so everyone can see it and then we can just walk through it. Thank you. So let me share my screen while you do that too, so we can all be on the same page. Okay, so my screen is coming up. Um, all right, so we are here. Okay, so this is today's content. So today, some of the things we'll be covering. Sorry, let me just hide this. There. Okay, so some of the things we'll be covering today, we'll be reviewing the assignment. That's the Panaroti Pizza assignment, and then we'll be talking about how to design a business flyer. We'll also be looking at templates and how do you create templates of things that you use often, so it makes them reusable. Because it's a very very important when I say it's a concept, it's very very important practice when you are designing things, especially when you're focused on building a brand and keeping your elements consistent. If you learn how to template things, it will make your work a lot easier so that next time you want to design something, you can always just go copy it and then paste it. So one thing to notice is that Canva is actually, I know we're using it on the phone and we're trying to focus on the phone because it's the most accessible kind of gadget that we have. But if you use Canva on the laptop, it's a whole new experience. It's so much better actually. But we don't want to focus on the laptop part because some people might not have laptops, or maybe your laptop like has um you may not have all of the features that will make Canva run like as smooth as possible. So while we so Canva doesn't really actually like require a lot of things to run because it's you can run it on the website, but just for accessibility so that everyone is carried along, we're focusing on the phone. But if you design things on Canva, you would see that there's so much like not like, all the functionalities are mostly on the phone, but like how it allows you to use it is so much better. But that's something we'll be covering later. Okay, so there's a comment on the group. So Clement is saying that they have sent the projects that they did on the group. So please, if you are here, you can just open the group and let's see what Clement did. Oh wow, this is awesome. So I imagine this is similar to the project that we did in the I think the second or third week of the class where we designed a flyer for cars. So yeah, this is very very nice. I like the use of color. I like how you blended everything to have that color. So this is really nice. It's very very good that you are practicing. So very very encouraging that you're practicing because really the best way to improve with Canva is to just do it over and over again. Once you do it over and over again, you start learning some different ways to do things that would not require you to click around so much. Now you don't have to search because you've done it so many times. So if you have a chance, personally, it's something that when I was learning, it's something that I really enjoyed. So if you are bored, if you don't have anything to do, instead of just scrolling to like mindless scrolling to Instagram or something, you can just design something. Even if you run a business or you don't, you can just go there. If you run a business, if it's even better. That way, you're doing something productive for your business. You can after today, we'll be learning how to design a business plan. So that could be something that you could focus on during the week when you have like free time. You can run in and then just design something for your business and then use it to promote your business. So thank you very much, Clement. It's good to see what you did. So back to today's content. Um, So we'll be starting with some of the assignments that we saw. So, like I said, there's a lot of submissions, so I might not have like in-depth feedback on each single assignment, but I'll try as much as possible to give feedback on as many as I can. But overall, I have to say like a lot of the assignments that I got were just really, really good. In fact, the way the improvement has been since the class started, I sometimes start wondering like, are you sure like some people are here are not like some secret graphic designers that have infiltrated our group, to just try and show off their talent. But then I see some names that I recognize and I know what it was like starting. So to see some of those improvements is very, very awesome. So these are some of the assignments that we saw. And the good thing is I saw some new names here today that submitted assignments. So well done. This one is from Tommy Fagbore, and this is just an excellent work. In fact, the way it looks so much like the original one from Panarotti, because it has like everything, the alignment of the phone, the colors that were used, the Panarotti logo. So it's Tommy Fagbore on this call. Like I just wanted to know how you got the Panarotti logo. I imagine you probably used three layers. So there was the red one, there was the so Tommy, if you're on this call, just raise up your hand so you can just come up and talk about how you achieved the Panarotti logo. What I suspect you did is use three layers, and I like how it blended well into the background, because one of the things to worry about when you are doing something like this, if you use like a layer between the red and the green one, so maybe you put something there and then you make it the same green color as the background, because this is a gradient, sometimes it might not sit well, but Tommy did a great job of making it work very well. So good job with that. Um, the font is really good. The way you put the phone is really good. Now, this is a mistake I made also. There's a space here, and this is just me. Like at this point, I'm just I'm being extra. But there's a small space here between the pizza and the edge of the phone. For this is not something that anyone without an eye for graphic would notice, but I mean, now we have become experienced graphic designers, so it is important that we start closing up some of these gaps. Like something like this, if you make sure that it gets to the edge of the phone, it's better it's overlapping on the phone that it is not touching the phone. It just makes it look a little bit. I mean, everybody knows it's a graphic, but just like try as much as possible to make your design as excellent as possible, because excellence is what we are pushing for. So always make sure you do that, and that's something that across a lot of the designs that I saw, and it's a mistake I made in my own design too, so it's a very easy mistake for anyone to make. So just like the important, after you finish designing, just make sure you zoom in and then like look at all of the elements, play around with everything and see. Also, this is another excellent one. In fact, this one I think is what I rated my the best assignment that was submitted, because I like the symmetry of this design. So if you look at the space between the click and the edge of the space here, and then the space that is here is very like similar. I like how equal it is. If you also look down, the space here is also kind of similar. So that shows that this person is was following for the margin training. So it's very important when you are designing things, as much as possible, your white space. When I say white space, that white space is space that there's nothing on top. So it doesn't have to be color white. So okay, well, you can submit now, but then it can't go on the slide, so I won't be able to show it. But you can submit now, and then it would make our social media team will probably post it to social media. So it will probably still go to our Instagram page. That's the Adara Foundation page, but it cannot make it to this slide because I already prepared this. So this is the PDF I'm showing, right? So back to what I was saying about this design. Again, excellent design. Well done with the symmetry of it. I like the color. I like the gradient, and the phone. You used a different mock-up, but still nicely done. But most importantly, I like the shadow you put at the under the phone. So who was that I was talking to? Abdul. So this is what I was saying about shadow. So you can go to Canva, search for shadow, and then you can just put it under the phone and just use your sense of design to align it very well so that it sits under the phone and it looks like a shadow that actually came with this phone element. So well done with this. I think I rated this as my best submission, but when we get to the end, just to confirm that. So this is another one from Abdul. I like the difference in this color. I like this it's pizza o'clock thing you did. I mean, this is not the color we were going for, and I think I specified that we should keep colors and things consistent. But I just wanted to highlight this, like to just show that in front of the pizza, you don't have to like you don't have to be like the red background thing like we had in the last time. It really could be anything that you put in the screen. So this is really well done. I like the mock-up with someone holding the phone and the colors. Also the colors, I like the gradient you use, really nice and sharp. And this is your main submission, I think, Abdul. So again, same thing with the first one, really well thought out design, really like well done. Here again is an example of going over the line. So this is something you should watch out for. Like just make sure you don't, as much as possible, just stick to the line. It's really hard, but if you zoom in, that's one thing with Canva. Just zoom in as much as possible, and then you will be able to achieve like something that sits well on the line, right? But then overall, this is a very good design. I like everything about it. It's really well done. To Akpan Sedi. So I think this is Akpan's first submission. I don't think I have seen this name. So welcome to the class, Akpan. Again, this design here, there's so much space between the pizza and the edge of the phone. So let's try and be mindful of things like that. I like the picture. I know the Pavarotti logo was hard to achieve, but I like the improvisation to use something like this. Um, so to this part here, I think the text is too close to the edge of the page. So if you look at this A, for example, you see it's almost running outside of the background. So please just leave a little bit more space when you are designing. I like the space here. Let me just draw. The space here is fine, but the one here is too much, like it's too close. So as much as possible, always leave like a good background around your elements, especially when it's text. It just makes it look easier to read. It's something you would come to learn as you design more. But overall, well done design. I like the picture. I like so many things about it actually. This is another good one by um who's this? Akunle Former Laura. So this is really well done. So this is what I oops, what did I do? So this is what I mean when I say like sitting well on the edge of the screen. So this is an excellent one. So if you see, okay, actually you might have overstepped the border with the second pizza, but this first one is well done. Again, good design. I like the symmetry here too. So this is another well done one. So if you move to Iyanu Ayontola, basically another good design. I don't have much critique for this one. It's another excellently done design. Also, the Panarotti logo. This is a very good way to solve the problem of the border. So adding, and I imagine you added a border with Canva to this to achieve what we have here. Although it's a little bit visible, but that's when you zoom in so much. That's when you can see that what you did was use the border. But if you are zoomed out here, it looks exactly like what the Panarotti logo looks like. So basically, well done. Akon Naylor, I think we've covered this, so this might be a duplicate. There's Ifeoma Chukwu Favor. So yeah, I saw you submitted two assignments. I think I might have picked one or two. Okay, I picked two of them here. So this one here is really, I like your spin on it with the plenty pizza and then your own tap and collect. So this is really, when I saw it, it was really funny with the Ubonge app Jolly. So well done on customizing the design to your own lingo. Also, this is your second submission with just click apply. So this is well done. This Panarotti logo is your own Panarotti. It's a lot different from what we have, but I like how you achieved it, but it's very different from the actual Panarotti logo. But anyway, either way, well done. I also like how you manage the different pizzas to create what you have here. I mean, it's not like sitting well as much as it can, but I like how you use different pictures of pizza to achieve this one. So that's really nice. So praise Babalola. This is another very good submission. And this pizza selection looks so much like the one I designed. So I'm suspecting, did you use remove the background to get the picture that I did? It's praise on the call. Praise Babalola. Exactly. The thought process is really smart, but it's just she's how she created her own Panarotti look, her own Panarotti. So if you get if Panarotti lawyer comes to your DM to sue you, I'm not there. Praise Babalola is praise on this call. Okay, I don't think praise is on the call, but I mean, I just wanted to check if what you did was if what you did was like using remove the background to use to get the elements that I do the phone picture that I made. But either way, okay, praise. Okay, can you come up? Godwin, please can you bring up praise? Hi Godwin.
Yeah, I'm with you, Godwin. I just have access.
Okay.
Yeah, good evening, sir.
Hi, good evening, praise. So at the moment you're under arrest because we are suspecting you of committing forgery.
I did
So
not
what
get logos
okay, so
time.
you got your own pictures yourself, Abby?
For the pizza, yes, I did. I did not.
Okay, okay. All right. I just wanted to be sure because the arrangement is exactly the same. It's the same picture of pizza that I use. But then we all use the same websites um to find pictures. So it's very, very possible you are free. You're not going to prison. So well done on your assignment. Did you find it difficult?
On laptop, yes. On phone, no. Like, actually, I have a question concerning
Okay.
when I my laptop. I cannot. I did not see the part where I'm going to group, but I can see it on my mobile. So, like, achieving this,
So group.
yeah, 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 the grouping part, I
Okay, so
cannot. Okay.
okay, sorry. So group on your laptop, all you just have to do is you just drag your cursor and cover everything you want to group. So like you right click and then drag it to cover everything. Once it covers everything, it will highlight all of them together. You will see the three dots that will come up. You just click it and then you press group. I think I'm just going off memory. But the first thing you to do if you should do when you want to group is highlight everything under one like highlighting box. Once you do that, you would see group. In fact, let me just look at Canva now. I'm doing it off screen, but let me just be sure. Yeah, so once you highlight, I just looked at Canva on my laptop now. So once you highlight everything, so just one box to cover everything that you want to group. Once all of them are under that box, you will see a group under, like a group option will pop up. So you just click on it and then they will all be grouped. So thank you for that question. On to the next submission. Okay, this is information positive. I think did you submit three? Okay, so it's the same one that we looked at already. Okay, and then there's Christopher Livinus, which is I think another first person that we've seen for the first time. So welcome again. And your design is really another well done design. I like the picture that you used. It shows like so many people. It's good that you're able to fit this much people in. And then adding your name to it, this is like a trademark. So nobody's stealing Christopher's design. And also the photo, I like how you aligned your pizza to. Again, from what we've heard, always make sure that just make it to make sure that it doesn't go over this black mark because I mean that's your phone screen normally. That's where your phone screen would stop. So if we are trying to pretend that this pizza is popping out of the phone, we should just still stick to that and then make sure that it's not going beyond the borders of the phone. So just those small, small things are what make the difference between a great design and an excellent design. But still, very, very good design, well done. Also, your Panarati logo. I think this Panarati logo might be the most challenging thing in this whole assignment because everybody has become an expert with handling images and the mock-ups. So the Panarati logo might have been the biggest thing. Personally, what I did was maybe I'll just show what I did to achieve mine. So you will see some creative ways to attempt something like that. It was wuru wuru to the answer, but we got there. Now this one by Inspired Adire is really, really lovely. I like it wasn't I mean you didn't go for the assignment, but I like how you made it around your business. In fact, this picture should probably go on your social media page. All you just have to do is add a little bit of how to order. Step one, send a DM. Step two, choose your design. Step three, um your fabric is delivered, basically something like that. But I like how it shows that you just add a little bit of more text like for your maybe your Ashwebi needs or something like that. But this is really well done. Again, this is the culprit of your design is your the picture here extended beyond the border of the phone, but that's something that easily fixable. So Favor is saying I should show you how I achieve the Panarotto logo. Okay, so I'll do that. Once I open Canva, I'll show you how I achieved my own. But then this is very, very well done. So I think you just fix it and post it to your Instagram, to your page, wherever you market your products, because this is really well done. And I think the last couple of submissions we had were by Blessing. Now this we've walked through, we've talked about this already, so you can just adjust that. Then this is another good Panaroti logo, which I think you use like three layers of this thing that looks like a flag, and then you blended it with the background. So well done on thinking of that solution to fixing this problem. And then to the last one again, what I said about leaving space between Olainde Ibukun Oluwa. So you did not see your submission here. You submitted last night. So that must be my own mistake because the way the form is presented, maybe I might have skipped it and thought it was another submission. So my apologies, but it's my own mistake if you submitted last night and it's not here. So I will look through it. It's probably my own mistake with how when I was presenting my slide. So please forgive me. Um, okay, this is your submission now. Olayinde Ibukun Oluwa. Yeah, so this is yours. We might the design with your name isn't yours. Oh, Akunle Laura. I see. So you're saying this design is not your own, Laura? Oh wow. So I made a lot of mistakes. Oh my god. Okay, so I made a mistake with the names that I put here. Sorry. Preparing this slide is really because I have to duplicate so much. So please forgive me for the mistake. So Laura and Ola Dende, please, it's a mistake from my end when I was preparing the slides. So maybe what I'll do is tomorrow's class, I'll just all of the ones that I missed, I'll just come back to it. I will upload it again. But unfortunately, I already picked winners, so you're going to forgive me for this week. But then there'll still be a lot of chances to participate in the weekly competition. So please forgive me. I would include this in tomorrow's slide too. Everybody's design is well represented. All right. So from the pictures that I saw, hopefully I don't have anything wrong here. These are the submissions that I thought were the most well done ones. So first one here is the Ife Daily Clement Steven. I hope this is your design, and I will just review. I'll go back again to the submissions that I got and just check that were the names that I put on the designs are actually correct. So don't take this as final confirmation of your this thing of the winners. So I'll just confirm the names and the pictures. But these were the three designs that I thought were really well done. So this one, like I had commented, the symmetry is very, very good. The creative idea to use the box shadow was really well done. And then the Panaroti logo was well done. This part also, I like the spacing. The shape is kind of different, but the picture is good. And then for the second one was this one by Abdul Hafiz. Again, really nice picture, really nice layout. And then the third one was this one by Toby Fabry.
Godwin, I think the name is Tommy, not Toby. I'm not
Sorry, you said
mistaken. I think that name is Tommy, not Toby.
it's Tommy Toby
As in Comi.
Tomi.
It's supposed to be.
So
Yes.
many apologies today. I had a very, very busy week, so I was rushing to design this thing today. So please forgive me for the misspelling of your name, for not including your assignment and attributing your assignment to somebody else. It will all be fixed, and then we would review this assignment tomorrow, and then we'll look at the accurate winners with proper names and everything. Right? Okay. So should I refill the form? So no, no, don't worry. If you have submitted already, I will just edit it. I'll just edit the I'll add your submission to the list. So I think this is a good chance. If you haven't submitted, it will give you a good chance till tomorrow to submit, right? But so just if you have submitted already, don't worry about it. I'll just like no, 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 no. So if you submitted with your name, it's a mistake on when I was designing the form. So the information you gave is still there. So all I have to do is go back to the form and then look at the name and the pictures. So I will get your name and your design. So don't worry about that. All right, thank you. So somebody saying, why was gift not given for last week Holo Effect assignment? Okay, so the gift wasn't given for last week Holo Effect assignment because we didn't want two things. We didn't get a lot of submissions for that one, and I wanted us to focus on this Panaroti one because it's really the concept for the so what I'm doing like going forward is we are doing like different kinds of designs that you'll be doing. So for last week, we focused on social media posts. So today, if you look back at what we have on what we want to do, we are focusing today on business flyer design. So that's what it's going to be like. So the competition is going to be social media posts and then business flyer design. So we didn't we so after looking at the submissions from the Holo Effect one, first there wasn't a lot of competition with it, and then we wanted to focus on doing like different like types of designs. So there wasn't any particular gift for last week's own, but for today's own, I'm going to give another assignment at the end of today or between. So I'm going to give one assignment that's going to run for all of next week, gives you that chance to design a business flyer for your business. So that one I'm going to, in fact, I mean that's going to be that one. I'm not going to give any guidelines around what you should design. I'm just going to throw it out there. You design something, and then we come back. So we see variety of ideas around how you can design your business flyer, how you can describe your services and your products. So please, it's not exact science. We are trying to like um we are like designing some of the training as we go. So please bear with us. If sometimes we throw an assignment, there might not be one that would have like a price attached to it, but then it's probably just part of our plan and how we structured the program. Okay, I've made too many apologies today. The one more apology. All right, so let's go to the business flyer. Um, so a business flyer is a very, very important thing that basically every business needs because there's so many. I do so personally. I run like a couple of businesses, right? So maybe you design something, you throw an Instagram ad, and then you start seeing DMs on your page like, "Hello, what is the price? How many days does it take to deliver? How do I pay?" All of those things. It's almost like Nigerians don't read like captions on your posts. So why you need a business flyer? First of all, too many talk. You don't want to. You want to avoid that. You just send them something that covers all of the information that they need around the business. Also, I think is there a comment? We can't see your screen. Oh, sorry. Can you see my screen? I can see my screen on my laptop.
I
Can
can
anyone
see
else
your
see my
screen. Probably it's
presentation?
probably from I can
Okay,
see your
so
screen. Maybe
Inspire,
from
please, if you can maybe join, like exit and join back, because I can see my screen and Godwin has confirmed you can see my screen. Also, there are comments saying they can see my screen. So please just try and exit and join back. Okay, so back to business flyer. You want to design a business flyer because it increases the visibility of your business and it gives your business information. So so someone comes across your business one time, they're scrolling on Instagram and then they see your post. If there's a flyer attached to your page, like maybe it's like a pinned post, in just one look, sorry, I heard my name. Hope I didn't miss anything. Okay, Abdul, probably you didn't miss anything. I think you already came up and described what you. I think we already went past your design, so you didn't miss anything. So back to business flyers. A business flyer like allows you like give information. So if someone comes across your page or they come across your business, or maybe on your WhatsApp status or something, you just have something there that gives all of the information that they need. So it helps them make that decision in their mind if they want to patronize your business without, because people are really lazy. Like I might want to buy something from you, like I see like a service you provide, and I'm like, oh, this is something I might be interested in. But because there is no like contact information, and I have to click your page to go to your profile bio to click your number, I might just move on because that's how people are online. So as much as possible, you want to try and provide as much information as possible with in just one graphic. So maybe someone makes an inquiry and then you can send them, in addition to your question about whatever it is that they want, you send them your business flyer. That way, it really gives them all of the information. It is cost-effective marketing. Now, a business flyer is something that it's something you can design on Canva for free, and then you can use it for like maybe like giving people information about your business without having to pay extra money. So you put it on your WhatsApp status there, it's already you're marketing already, put it on your Instagram, your Facebook, wherever. Also, it builds credibility. Now, if you want to buy stuff from me and then you come to my page and then I'm telling you, and you ask me how much is your product, and then two things. I tell you this one, our this thing is our shirt is 5,000, our trouser is 2,000, and you're writing it, you're typing it out for the person, versus you send them like a flyer that does like gives like looks professional. So something like this, you send them now. This is different from what we are going for, but like you send them something that has like all of the information. So you send them like an information like this that looks very, very professional, provides all of the information they're asking for. They would perceive your business as being like a professional business that they want to patronize. So again, the concept that we introduced at the beginning of the class with the visual perception of your business and how it helps people make estimates about the cost of what you are selling, how much they should pay for it. It's part of it. So credibility is one thing that people decide the credibility of a business based off the perception you give them. So a business plan is something that can help you look more credible. Also provides contact information. We've covered that, and improves the visual perception of your business. We've covered that. So what are the things that should be in a business flyer, right? It should include your name and your logo, so that way you are staying on brand, and then everything the you your all of that information is already there. You have a marketing line. Now this one is not a must, but then if you provide like a service, for example, most people have like marketing lines, MTN everywhere you go. I think what is the new one is what are we doing today or something like that. Glow Unlimited. So you should have like something that goes with your business that kind of like tells people what you're about, like your brand values, that communicates your brand values basically. So your business flyer should have that. If you have one, if you don't have one, you should probably consider like coming with one. And no matter what you are doing, you can ask ChatGPT basically, describe your business and tell it to give you like a business flyer, or your Meta AI on your phone, or whatever it is that whatever kind of AI you're familiar with. So you should probably that's something you should probably just do. Like enter your business information. Like I am a dry cleaning business that provides affordable dry cleaning services to people in Lagos. Provide a marketing line for my business. The AI will generate something for you, and you can add to your business flyer. So it provides also a business flyer should include information about the services or product that you offer. It should also include information about the contact information. So the contact information I mean yes, so catchphrase is another word for contact information, but marketing line, catchphrase is another word for marketing line. But catchphrase is more broad. But when in terms of like marketing, it could either be like people describe it as your motto or something. But catchphrase is more broad. It goes beyond like business this thing. But in terms of marketing, people call it marketing line, right? So it should include your phone number, your social media, your email, your physical location. If you have a physical location, or if your business deals in physical location. If you don't have one, you can include. That's why I added like a question mark there, depending on the structure of your business. If it's something that needs a physical location or a website. So if you have a website, if you don't have it, you don't have to include that there. Also, a call to action. This is a very, very important one. Now, what's the call to action? The call to action is now I have seen your flyer. What do I do? So call to action like really tells people like what to do. So like it should be if you are designing a business flyer and then your business is like you sell something, you should have like a call to action where it is like to order, call 080 blah 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 blah. Or maybe you are trying to there's a discount and then you tell them to apply this discount code. So you leave something there like what you should do next. So next steps basically. A call to action is basically what do I do after this business? How do I engage with this business? Because people just read things and they're like, whatever. But like if there's something that they should do next, it's a very, very like nice next step. Just mentally, it just like makes people know what to do next. Because really you would not believe how lazy people are when they are online. People just want to be entertained, like I said, but you should just give them like a next step to do. So you should also your business plan should include an image or a graphic that represents your business. So it should be something that kind of tells the story of your brand. So now this is an example here, a digital marketing expert. So this is someone that looks young, looks sharp, and then they are pressing their phone. So it kind of tells you that okay, like we are a young company that we have like really creative ideas. We are mobile. We move fast. Some of those things. That's what this image is communicating to you. So it's important that you kind of do something. It doesn't have to be a person. Depending on the kind of business you do, you decide what kind of picture you want to attach to your flyer. And then pricing information. If your business is about selling stuff, and you might want to include this. It depends on how you want to go about it. Like if you want to bring in people first, because pricing might be scary. People just see pricing and then if there isn't more information about what they can get, the pricing might scare people away. So you really look at your business. If it's a business that you are selling something that the price is unbelievable, so maybe for example, you are selling like something that costs like 2,000. Everybody knows that it costs 2,000, and then you have like the price. You are slashing it. You are selling it for like 1.5. The pricing is a very very important information to put on that graphic because that is the main selling point of that graphic. Basically, it tells people that okay, our price is better than all the prices you see around. So basically, depending on the pricing structure you have and how competitive your price is, it determines if you should have that pricing information there. Then the last thing is the testimonial. So if there's space to add like how people have reviewed your product, or maybe someone like wrote a really nice comment, depending on the structure of the flyer too, you can also add like testimonial to your business flyer. Now we have done all of the theoretical, how what's the business flyer, how do you what should you include into it. So it's time that we dive into like in creating some designs around business flyers. So now I have gone online and I found two really interesting ones that I think that we can have a lot of that we can learn a lot by attempting to design. So I think first of all, let's just see like if you're on the call, if you think that this design, this particular one here, like, what do you think is going to be the hardest thing for you to design here? I just want to see your comments. Like, is it the gradients that they used, like the black gradient, or is it the button, that button that looks like it's lifted up? What is the most difficult thing in this design for you, looking at it? So I want to see comments in chat. So, like, what would you struggle most with in this design? So I just want to know what it is that people struggle with. Sorry, can everyone still hear me? Okay, the button that is lifted up. Okay, I can see comments now. So Yadu is saying the button is going to be the difficult thing. Abdul is saying maybe the shape at the top. What shape? I think what Abdul might be saying is this shape here. But then that's not difficult. It's really that's a very very that's an element that is on Canva. So you can just search for dotted square or something like that. You'll find it. Okay, so someone is saying the left dark side. Okay, blending the picture with the frame, having curved shapes, and okay, the picture that looks faded. So the gradient, somebody saying the gradient, the left side part of the picture. Okay, all right. So the two things here that I see that people are look that they would struggle with is the gradient part and then the that date part. So also actually like looking at it basically that those are the two things because I have attempted this design before I came in so that I won't fall my hand here basically. But I've attempted the of the design and then those were the things too that I thought were kind of difficult. So we would try and recreate it like live in class. Abdul is laughing. Yes, it's really important to attempt it because really Canva doesn't allow you to do everything. So it's important that you go and make sure it's something that you can do on Canva. I mean, you can wuru to the answer to get whatever design you get. But really, Canva is really it's a limited solution. The best selling point of Canva is how easy it is. I mean, look at everyone that came into this class. Most people, when we did this first survey, 70% of the class said that they had never used Canva. And then to see the submissions that we are seeing today, well done, everybody. So let's go to Canva and then dive into it and start recreating this design. So let me open my app. Um, okay. All right. Was there anything I promised anyone I was going to show on Canva? I know I mentioned it like twice, but then I have forgotten. Not in this particular design, like in the other when we're reviewing the assignments. I think someone asked the question about how do I do something? Shadow under the mockup. Okay. All right. So how do we get the shadow under the mockup? Is do I have one here? Okay, so this is the original design, and this is my own design. Okay, so if you see here, there's a shadow like element under this design. So it's really not difficult. It's all you just have to do is go to elements, search for shadow. So once you search, you would see a lot of them. Some of them are free. So this one, for example, is really nice, but then it's kind of dark. You can go with something like this, for example. So all you have to do, let me delete this one here. I think what I used was the darker one in this instance, but for balance, oops, for balance, I am going to use the lighter one. So let me zoom in, delete this, and then so you just adjust the size, and then you. Sorry, I think I didn't lock my this thing. So let me just lock this color here. Okay, so that's good. So basically, that's the shadow here. I think the darker one might actually be better, but that's how you do this thing. If that's okay. So Clement, I'll come back to your design when we start designing the to your question when we start designing the logo. So basically, now you've seen how to do the shadow. It's really just search and put element to element. So basically, I think the this darker logo was better than this lighter one. So I'm just going to undo everything I did. So it's the same thing. Just put elements there. Now for the Panarati logo, how did I achieve my own curve? If you zoom in now, you would see that there is so much wuru to the answer. There's this one. I found a. Let me destructure this. So there's this guy that um I think I cropped it. So this is the full shape here, and it's a paid feature. So can you see what I did? So I looked for something. I searched for curved line or like a curved line on Canva. So that's let's say for example, let me go to elements and then go to curved line. So this is it here. So this is the element that I used here. I put it there and then I cropped it because it has that curve that I want in the Panaroti logo. So sometimes it's really just like use your just try and just like find weak ways to do it. So now because it's so like you've seen how I did this now because it has like it's not a free element. Sometimes this is something you can do to sidestep some of these their free elements. What I did is after cropping it, let me just undo. So after cropping it, I just put a normal square on it. So you see now that this square, I just carried it and then I put it on top of it. So it covers most of the this thing, most of the that part that is saying Canva, Canva, Canva. I also did the same thing for the last one. And then I put a black one under two of them. So that way it differentiates. I actually didn't do this very well. So let me just go to position and adjust it. So this should go backward. Yeah, so now it is perfect. So it has the red and then it has the black and then it has the curve. Another way most people do this in the class is you can just use remove.bg and then just copy what the original one had. But now you've seen how I achieved this. Is everybody clear about how I achieved the Panorati logo? Please let me know in chat. Okay, all right, great. So again, sometimes you just use your creative wuru to the answer to get whatever you want from Canva. All right, so Clement is saying, what is with all the info that is needed in the business flyer, what would be the best size to use for our design? Excellent question. Now, if you're designing a business flyer, because you need so much space, Uchinaza is saying they don't understand how I did it. So Uchinaza, you don't understand how I got the Banarati logo. Is that what you're saying? Okay, watch is coming back. Let's okay. I'll come back to that question. So to Clement's question, if you are designing something that has like a lot of content in it, like there's a lot of information that is going into it, it's important that you pick the biggest size that you can pick for logo. So you can either, and again, you have to think about where am I going to ultimately be using this logo. If you are using it, you want to put it somewhere like Instagram, or you want to put it somewhere like your WhatsApp DP, or your or like basically any kind of social media that is a post. They all basically have the same size. So I would advise you to, whenever you're designing anything that you are not going to print, or it's not going to be an Instagram story or a reel, as long as it is a post, just always use Instagram portrait. So we go here, Instagram. So Instagram post that is 4 by 5. So this one that says 1080 by 1350. That's the third thing that is here. Let me highlight it. So this one is what you should always go for, because this is going to fit into most. It's going to like give you the most mileage basically. But what I mean by that is that most places that you want to put it in. So you think of your GP or WhatsApp, it will work. You put it on Instagram, it will work. You put it on Twitter, it will work without cropping. So that's the important thing. You won't have to crop if you use this. But ideally, if you're designing a flyer that you want to print, the size you should use is A4. So just here, come here and search for A4. So if you click on A4, A4 is the normal, like all those like tracks people share on the road. That is the size of an A4. It has that rectangular portrait shape. Let me open A4 so you can see what it looks like. So this is what it looks like. It has that like this is long, it has like it's long kind of way. So this has like it fits perfectly with the design that we were going for. But because most of the designs you're not going to be printing it, just always go for Instagram portrait 4 by 5. That way it gives you like a lot of room, and then it also doesn't limit where you can put it. Because if you try to put this A4 design on your WhatsApp DP, for example, or Instagram, you want to upload it on Instagram, you will not be able to without cropping it. You have to like find some ways to, you have to put it on top of another element to have everything. So as much as possible, unless you are printing, just go for Instagram portrait, which is what I am going to do now. Instagram portrait. So I click on that, and then we open a blank page. Right. So you see this one, it's not as long as the A4, but it still gives you like enough space to work with. Right. So Clement, do you get that? Do you understand what I mean and how, like, why you should use this? Okay, perfect. All right. So basically, we wanted to recreate some designs, and I had actually had done some work on another page, but I'm just going to redo it here. So this design is what we were going to do. So the two things I'm going to focus on doing, because I know you all know how to put like text and these things on the page. So just going to focus on putting the image, putting this gradient, and then doing this button. So I might not put all of the text and everything because I know everybody knows how to do that already, right? Okay, so the first thing in this image, if we are trying to recreate this image, I mean, what is the first thing you think should be on this page? Chat, I want to hear your feedback. Exactly. So the image or the frame, that is the first thing you should put, because that way allows you to, because that's the element that looks like it is lowest in your layers. I'm really surprised at how much you guys have learned in this class. So well done. So let's find an image to use. Again, I forgot to actually bring an image. So we're going to use some of the image we used the last time. So we're going to use a picture of, let's see, let me see, does the picture have a background? Okay, so it has a background, so we have to use something that has a background. So let's first of all start with a frame. We really do not need a frame in this picture, but to stick to what we have learned, let's start with a frame. Thank you, Abdul. So we start with a frame, and then we use the frame to cover the page. Now, I don't think we need to cover the bottom part, right? Do we? Okay, we actually do need to, because it has like, it gets all the way there. Okay, so we go to upload, put an image. Actually, the problem is that none of these images actually work for what we are going for, but we move. Let's see if we can make this one work. Nah, we can't. So again, another thing with this with designing is you have to find the perfect image for the design you're trying to go for. Now this image is good, but the problem is that it is the lady is centered, and we want something that puts the person that we are designing on like to one side. Now there are two ways to go about it. Either we do something like this and then we try and adjust, like we adjust it with gradient, but then it really gets. I mean, we can do it. You know what? Let's do it. So we can do something like that. So we have the picture of the lady here. Let's see. This might not look awesome when we finish, but I just wanted to show you some things. If you have a challenge like this, what are some ways you can address it? Like personally, what I would advise you to do is just look for a better image. But let's give ourselves challenges that we would overcome. So now that we have the picture of the lady here, what we want to do is like blend these parts around her, because if we put let me put an element here. So let's say we want to put like a we want to use something like this to like try and deceive our audience to so that we don't see that space around, and then we come to transparency and reduce it. We see that we still have that people can still see that this thing. Should the background be removed? Okay, so two questions. Clement is saying let's use a similar image. Now, the thing with a similar image is that I want to make it as difficult as possible, because sometimes you might not find a similar image. So I know that if we use a similar image to the picture, we would achieve it. But as well as let's give ourselves a challenge. We might do it and then it might not be fine, and then tomorrow we come back and we redo it. But let's just give ourselves a challenge with this difficult image, because it helps you learn. It's what I've learned with things like with Canva. It just like helps you learn how to address things. So I get that we shouldn't use this image, and I'm very happy that to see that you know why we shouldn't use this image instead of reminding we stand. All right, whatever. So let's go. So the second question is Laura is saying, shouldn't the background be removed? So we're not removing the background in this picture, because if you see the image that we're trying to emulate here, the background is not removed. So we are really making life difficult for ourselves with this picture that I chose. But again, you will learn from doing difficult things. So we are not removing the background, because removing the background just makes it very, very easy. But I'm trying to do difficult things. Okay, so let me delete this. Now, how do you blend a picture like this? Okay, so the first thing you do to do that is, and this might mean that we might not be able to finish today's class, but what I learned in there's a so what I learned like recently how to blend is you use like a gradient like this, and then you change the color to white. So this part that is blue, you change it to white, and then you put it like here. So you have it sit like on the edge of the design. So you see now that, I mean, it's not we've not done so much work, but that hard edge is already beginning to disappear. I mean, can we see it? Yeah. I like seeing wows on comments. So again, the next one, you put it under it. Now that you've done it like a couple of times, Canva will start understanding what you are doing. So you just press duplicate, duplicate. So now we see that the edge is no more as strong as it was. Okay, so Favor is saying I should explain again. Okay, so let me go back and do that again. Okay, so but the page, so we'll get the Clemens. Just don't worry, we'll get there. So now the problem in this image is that this edge is too sharp. Like the edge where the white is and the picture meets is really, really sharp. So it's just looking very, very, it's not looking like what we want. So now what we're trying to do is soften it. We are still going to do some things on top of it. So that's the question Clement is asking. Like the gradient on that picture is giving a dark feel. We will still put that dark gradient, but if you put a dark gradient here, let me do that. So this is the gradient here, for example. I change the color of this gradient to dark. So this blue, I turn it to black, and then I put it here. You will see that it is not solving our problem, right? So how do we make this part, this edge here, how do we make it softer? That's what I when in graphic design circles, they call it softening. So now if you're using a different tool like Photoshop or something, there are ways that you can do this so easily. But again, Canva, it will rule to the answer. So you go to elements. So now, Favor, I'm answering your question. How did I do it? So I went to element and then I searched for gradient. So you go here, you search for gradient. If I can remember how to spell gradient, gradient, gradient. So I click on gradient here, and then I find a gradient that is free. Gradient square gradient. Okay. So now this is what I searched for was square gradient that you can see. So I picked this one because it has what I want. It's two colors and then I can change the color, which is most important. So what you do is when you pick a gradient like this, you change the color to white because you what we are trying to blend it is to a white background because that white makes it like blend well. So you make it white and then you put it, make sure that, let me zoom in, make sure that where you're putting it is just right on the edge of the design that you're going for. And why we are choosing white is because our background that we're trying to blend it into is white. So if this place was red, for example, let's say this place was red like this, in this place what would choose for the color for this place would be red. So that way you see that it's still giving us the same effect. Do we get? Please let me know if you get what I did now. Exactly. So you see that it has blended the edge. Now what you do is always make sure that keep this thing as small as possible because the bigger it is now, it is coming into the lady's face, and I don't want that. So just keep it small where it doesn't really interact much with the main subject. So now we do this. We have this. Let me go back to white because white makes my life easier. So I go for white here. And I'm choosing white because we're going to put a black gradient on top of this one that we have here. And then putting red on top of black is going to like be difficult. But if you put black on top of white, it would be easier. So let me go back to this, change the color to white. So we see now that we are really beginning to blend this image, duplicate it again. All I'm doing is duplicating and then just making sure I'm putting it where it should be. Again, duplicate, put it here. After the third time, Canva knows what you are doing, so it just helps you do that part. So now that we have that, you see that it has kind of blended into this. Now we do it for the under part too. So again, you duplicate this, turn it around so that the this thing is facing up, and then put that one here. And this is where this might start falling apart. Let me delete this and then bring it again. So it's really the same thing. Change it to white. I should make this one so much smaller so it doesn't really go into. So again, duplicate. Let me shift this to the edge. Do you understand what I am doing? All right. Now this is not perfect, but we are closer to where we want to be now. So now that we have this, what we can do is do one more gradient that is black this time. So again, the same gradient we selected, this, we make a big one. But we can actually not make it full, and then we change the color to black. So now we see that we have um, something that is close to what we wanted. Actually, can we use the transparency of the gradient? Exactly what I was going for. So you can reduce the transparency of the gradient. But one thing I think would be better is, so the gradient has two colors. So you can click on the other color. You can click on make it black too. But then this second color, you can now come to your colors here and then make it a little bit like gray. So it's not as black as the beginning. So now you can see that I'm making it gray. So Clement is saying they don't understand. Okay, so let me go back. So we know how we got here, right? Let me remove this big. Okay, so what we are doing now is we are adding the black, this black picture to like get to. We're trying to put this black gradient on it. So we do actually something we can do is just make it one big one. So instead of doing the small ones, you just add one. The gradient lines are still showing. Yes, so that's something you have to adjust like later. So I did. So these ones on the left side are better than the ones that I did here because at this point I'm rushing. But then you just have to go in here and then just adjust it so that they are sitting. Well, so now we see that this one is no more showing. So it's really just going in and adjusting it well so that it covers your errors. So now this one here, so that has kind of improved it already. So it's really just like making sure you're arranging it very well. Yes. So now we put like one big gradient here and we make this. Let me just make sure it covers the whole page. So again, bear in mind that this ideally is not what you would do in a design, but I'm just showing you how to like blend. I just wanted to take this chance to show you how you blend images. Now this is not working like what I want. But anyway, okay, so we have this. Now what I can do now in this instance is I can actually go to this image of this lady. Okay, we even have it. Let me show you a trick now. So now that we have this lady's picture here, what we can do is you remove the background of the lady and then just upload a new, like I have done this already. So normally what you do is go to remove the background, get one without, and then you can just put the picture of the lady. Make sure that it is sitting exactly the way it was, same size and everything. So now that we have that, you just reduce the transparency a little bit so that it's not as strong. Okay, so now we have a picture now. It's not ideal because the lady is floating. Okay, no, maybe don't do this. Now, if I was going to do this, I'll have done it before I started putting all of these layers, but I don't want to go back to do all of those. But anyway, this we can reduce the transparency here. Okay, so now we have this. We can now put one more layer of blending. Oh, so we can put one like a picture here, like a rectangle to just cover everything one more time. Now, again, all of these things I did, I would not advise you to do this. Just find a better image because it's beginning to put the picture of the lady is beginning to like go into the background too much. But anyway, and this picture should be black actually. So let me just change the color to black. All right, so we see that now we have successfully blended the picture of the lady. It's a little bit too much. This is not perfect work, but I just wanted to show you how to blend edges without some of the big serious tools Canva gives you. So now that we have that, I think we can actually this gradient is too much. Yeah, that's better. All right. Can we still hear me?
Yes,
Okay.
Brother, I can hear you.
All right. So the problem with this image is that I think this blending at the bottom might be too much. I didn't want to spend too much time on this because I wanted us to design at least one flyer today. Now this one that part is not well blended anyway, but if you spend more time on it, you would get it. You make it get it to look as good as the left side. But I don't want to spend so much time. Can we see add the same picture of the lady and put it behind the black gradient? So yes, you can do that. That's what I had tried to do, but then okay, actually maybe I should just do that. So when you're adding a picture of the lady, you add like one that you have removed the background, so you don't have to deal with that whole background thing again. So let me just expand this so it's you know. um, so I go to my layers and then show the position forward, forward. It defeats the purpose of what we're going to do. Okay, so this is not a good way to go about it. Let me just delete this. But anyway, the main point I wanted to pass is blending images, but this is not a good picture for what we were going for. So I'm just going to accept that this did not work, and then I will go for like a picture that fits what we are doing. But the important lesson here is to learn how to like blend images, the edges. It's not something you should do with an image that is that like difficult to use. But if there's a small image that like so maybe like you wanted to, there was a design we were working on one day. Why I had to learn this was let me go back and find that design. And I know that I am not showing you the flyer that we're supposed to describe today, which might have to run into tomorrow. But since we've run into an interesting concept, let's just cover it. There was a design we were designing in class one day, and then I was trying to fit I think it was in this file where we were trying to, there was a lady's picture that we were designing, and so it's not here. Let me go back. It might be here. Okay, I can't find it. But there was a file we were working on together where someone asked like, how do you like blend the picture? That was what I was going for. But anyway, let's design a flyer because that was what we wanted to do today. Okay, so we go back to a blank page. All right. So this is the design that we were going for. Let's find a picture that works best for it. So ideally, you're looking for a picture where the subject is on one side because you can always flip where they are on. So we look for a picture where the person is. So let me go to Pexels. So we go to pexels.com to find the picture. So once we get that picture, we can then like go back to the design. So what are we looking for? We're looking for a picture of a young man on with phone. Just to show quick check. Are we still following? Okay. Okay, so this could be a good picture actually. All right, so this is like a good picture. We can always just zoom it in and then use it for what we want. So I'm going to download this. Okay. And I've learned how to save now, so we shouldn't have that problem again. Can we still see my screen? Okay. All right. So the first thing we want to do here is, and for this particular instance, I'm not going to use a frame because I want to adjust this image by myself. So this is an example of when a frame might not be the best idea. So let me upload this picture here. So we get the picture, we zoom in, Right. Okay. So we can actually even like have him somewhere here. So now this is a good enough picture that allows us like space to write and things. So now all we have to do here is to go back to our design that we're trying to copy to see what it looks like. So all we just need to do now is just add like a gradient to it. So we'll go to elements. We've already seen how to do all of this. So I'm not going to spend too much time on showing how we do some of these things. So come here and then click on gradient, change the color to black. Okay. So now we have this. So this is how you. So this was one of the things that you the class had mentioned was going to be hard to do. So now that we have this, the picture looks too exposed. So Clement, what do you mean by exposed? Too much light. I think it might be our gradient that is making it too exposed. So what we can do in that instance is let's see if we can crop the gradient. So let me crop it. Let's see what it looks like. Now it looks too strong.
Hi everyone. I think Vadim is having a network glitch. So please let's just exercise patient for the next 1 or 2 minutes.
Hi, can we hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. We lost it for a bit.
Okay, sorry about that. I think it was my network. Let me share my screen again. So I think I found a fix for the problem we were facing. Mm, so share screen, start broadcast. Okay. All right. So the problem is that I was trying to use this gradient too much, and then it was covering the picture of the man. So what we can do is just make the gradient smaller and then duplicate it. So we have this. We can come here, duplicate, and then do it one more time. So this, I think this is a better use of the gradient. Now what I did is instead of making the gradient black and white, I turned it to black and black. So that way it just blends better. Can we hear me? Okay. All right. So now that we have this, all we have to do here is add the text. So let me duplicate this, turn it around. Also add another layer of ingredients here. I should actually just delete this one. So what I'm doing is just basically playing around with the direction of the gradients. Select multiple. Okay. All right. Do we understand what I did? Okay. All right. So I just did gradients on the bottom, did gradients on the top, the line behind the laptop. So don't worry about that line. We'll fix that line. Don't worry about it. So what we'll do is we'll cover it with these things that are here. Sometimes those are the ways you fix things. You cover it with something. So we might add like a shadow behind these bars here that will just cover it up. You won't see it. So someone is saying they don't understand what I did. Okay, so Ayotola, what I did was I used small gradients like this. So this is one gradient, this is another one here. I put two side by side, and then I put two smaller ones here. This is one gradient, this is another one, this is another one. So all I did was just really like I had like plenty gradients on the page to add like that effect on the side and on the bottom. So that's it. So to focus on that bottom part now. So how you do this button part is this shape here now is called a pill. Now when you think of a pill, like think of a medicine. So like all those medicines that are in pill shaped, that's why it's called a pill. So if you search for pill, you will find this shape here. So let me go here and search for a pill, Pill. So pill shape. So now these are example of pill shapes here. So I can pick any one of them. Now, well, this is what we are trying to achieve now. This part here with the yellow and the white thing. So how do we get that effect? But if you see that, if you zoom in, you will see that it kind of has this like canva. It's a really small. It's not as difficult as it looks. So all I have to do is just adjust my shape to the desired size. Let me see. Actually, instead of using a pill, something we can do here is use a normal box. So I can teach you how to do border radius. So you pick something like this, a normal box like this. So if you pick a box like this, it allows you to make it into a pill shape. So once it is here, you just click on this part that says corner. I'm highlighting it also. You click on corner. So if you click on corner, you can just increase the rounding. As increasing the rounding, it will just start giving you that it start rounding the edges of the of the shape. So with that done, you can you can use this now as a pill shape. Although the problem with this is that the problem with this now is that if I wanted to use this as my pill shape, I will not be able to have this flat edge. So this is not a good idea. So I'm going to go back to the pill shape that I saw in Elements. And again, with Canva, these are some of the things you would have to learn like as you use it. So I'm going to go back to using this. And now what I can do is I can just crop it. Can you repeat this step? Okay, let me repeat that step. So it's looking like we're not going to finish this today. So what I did is I used a rectangle. I clicked on this rectangle. Now if you click on the rectangle and at the bottom here you see corner. If you click on corner here, you will see that it has this thing called corner rounding. You can drag it and let me change the color so that we see it very well. So let me do this pink, for example. You see that as you are dragging the corner rounding, the corners are basically rounding like it says. So corner rounding is rounding the corners. So that's what I meant. Now this is good, but why I didn't continue using it is that I want to, if you see this, the shape that we have here has one side rounded and the other side here is like flat. So I can't use this element to do that because basically there's no crop. You cannot crop an element like this. And that's why I don't want to use this. There are other ways you can do it, but it's just so much work. For example, you can come and do something like this where, sorry, you add another one, for example. So this, you add another one and use it to like complete it. But this is too much. I mean, it can actually work. So we select it and we group it. Select multiple, this and group. Actually, this is a very, very good situation. It's not as round as the pill shape. Let me see what they have here. Now, so this is what we want. This is close to what we have there. This one and that one. I can still go in and round it further. So something like that. But this is as oh, sorry, this one is supposed to. So because I want to have this part covered, so this one here now, I don't want it to be rounded. So I'll make it like not round and put it on top just to cover that other side of it that is rounded. Do we get the original is looking like a flash drive? Oh no, 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 no! I haven't gotten to this part. What I'm working on is just this part that is white. I have not gotten to this yellow part. So Laura, don't worry about that. I haven't gotten to that yellow part. I wanted to show you how you can merge shapes like this. Okay, now that we have that, we can group. Let me make this so much smaller. So we can have it like this and then like this. All this one is doing is just giving it this flat edge. So now I have this. I'm going to select multiple, this one and this one, and group them as one shape. Now I can adjust it and it will be one shape. So now that we have that, let me change the color to a yellow like that. So we can now put the white part. So this is white. So now we want to add this yellow part here now and then complete it to this. So again, what do? We go to elements, we click on this shape again, and now we are supposed to make this color to be yellow. Maybe this would be a good assignment actually. I'm just going to have you finish it. Now, so you put this one, make sure it is sitting in the center of it. Now, this shape, I'm making it this big because I want you to be seeing what I am doing. But in the original one, it should be a lot smaller than it. So it should actually be something like this size. So something like this. And our this thing is beginning to fall apart. So let me ungroup it. See, there's a problem here that this one is beginning to come out. So I'm just going to zoom out so it's no more showing, and I'll group it back. I hope you're understanding what all these things I am doing. Do you understand what I am doing? Okay, thank you. Because I might be going a little bit too fast. So now I make it as small as I want it to be, and then what do? I bring this one in. So we have to make sure that this white one is on top of that yellow one. So you go to position, bring it forward. So now it is on top of it. Now there's only one more thing that we need to do to make it like that one that we have there. We just have to add a shadow to it, right? So the difference here now is just to add a little bit of shadow to it to make it have that lift effect. So let me make this a little bit smaller and then center it. So now it's in the center. So I see now it's in the center. There's a line that goes across to show you that it's centered. So Laura, where do you want me to go back to? So I'm undoing. Do you want me to go back to the original design or what? Okay, just let me know what you want. But I'm going to continue ahead because we don't have a lot of time anymore. So now that it is set in and it is centered, all I have to do is take it back. So make sure the white is on top of it, and then I go to elements, and then I search for shadow. So once I find a shadow, so let's go with this dark one. I just turn it, make sure it is the same size as the white one. I think this shadow might be too dark. So you also make sure the shadow is under the white, so that way you are not like going. Shadow shouldn't be on top of the element; it should be under it. So again, I go to position, backward, Now it is under it. Now you already see that it already has that it looks like it is lifted. All I have to do now is just adjust it to come out a little bit. I think it's that's too much. And just like that, we see that we have achieved that effect that they have there. So now there's a little bit of shadow on this part also. You can decide to that you if you want to add that or not. But with Canva, you see that we have that like lifted look that that one has. Is it possible to use black element to replicate that shadow? Is it possible to use black element to replicate that shadow? So you can, but it won't be as good because it would you can use like transparency to reduce the transparency, but it won't be as good as the normal shadow because shadows are not square. Some parts are lighter than some parts. So if you see the shadow that we have here now, let me bring it out. You see that the top part is light. What if we use effect shadow? So you cannot add an effect shadow on an element like this. So it's not everything you can put on effect shadow. You can put it on text, you can put it on like on images, but you can't put it on small on an element like this. I actually think this one is too dark, so you can reduce the transparency. If the transparency is the problem, you can always reduce it here and then just like fit it into fit it under here. The important thing is just make sure it is under the white one, and so that way you see that it gives you that depth effect already without too much work. Yeah, so somebody saying this is way better. All right, so this is way better. So now all you just have to do is group everything. Now you can extend this one also wherever you want it to. So you just select multiple. So you select the white, select let me first of all select the shadow because this is so you start with the shadow because it is the element that will be hardest to select. You select the yellow, select the black, and then you just group it. Now you can move everything around. You can adjust it anyhow you want. You can stretch this one. Oh, actually, I don't want that part to stretch. So before you do this, you have to. The yellow shape is not round, sir. Oh, so to adjust that yellow shape, we already know how to do it already. You can just come to corner and then. Sorry, I'm selecting the wrong thing. So let me ungroup so I can select just this edge. So zoomed in all the way. Go to corner rounding. So let me just adjust it back. Sorry, I don't think I have the right thing selected here. So I want to remove the corner rounding. So you see, I've adjusted it now to not be so round. Is this better? Use position for that shadow, right? Yes. So I use position to put it under this white text. Can we still hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Please, can you check your message for me?
Okay. I know I have run beyond time, so I think this is where we'll leave it for today so that we can continue. So what we'll do when we come back tomorrow, basically all of the things we plan for today's class, we'll just continue running tomorrow. But the important things that we were supposed to cover today was from based on feedback from chat. I just wanted everybody said the hard things here would be to do this part and then to do this background. So we have mostly covered those two things. The background still has some work that we can do on it, but we are already very, very close to the design here. All we just have to do now is add text and add like a little bit of shadow. So for this one now, you can just add the shadow, but I'm going to finish the class because we promised to always close the class by 6 o'clock. So tomorrow, so please, we'll start very early tomorrow. I'm not going to give any assignment today. So once we come in, we will just continue and then we can complete this design and cover the other things that we plan to cover today. So any questions? So we can just quickly finish and then hand over to Godwin and then come back tomorrow. Do you have any questions? Okay, so it doesn't seem like we don't have any questions. So Godwin, I think that's it for today. Sorry for extending beyond 6 o'clock. I think that's it for today. We'll continue tomorrow.
Okay. That's okay, Godwin. Thank you so
Yeah.
much.
All right.
So thank you guys. Thank you everybody for participating. Please kindly follow us on all our social media platforms. And if you're not in the WhatsApp group, please just indicate in the chat box, drop your number. Our community managers online and they would, get your contact and add you to the WhatsApp group. And also Godwin, I wanted to find out the winners that you showcased earlier before you started the training.
Okay.
Those are the ones that get you. I didn't get any reward for that. Should you reward them for the
Yes, so they'll
assignment?
be getting reward. I think I might have made some mistakes with this. So I'll look at I mean, those people that we selected already are like they are the ones that they are the best designs that I saw in the submissions. But just to confirm that I have the names and the pictures correct, I'll just confirm all of that. Then I'll send it. I'll send it. I'll share it on the group so everybody sees who the final winners are, and then we can go to rewarding them.
Okay, thank you so much. So
All
we're
right.
going to be rewarding the winners when Godwin does the final evaluation. That's our culture, just to motivate, for giving us your time and attention, and also to push you to learn more and do more. So we really appreciate you guys. If there are any other questions you have, you can also always drop a question in the WhatsApp platform, and we'll get a quick response as soon as possible. Yes, for the attendance, don't worry, guys. From tomorrow, I'll send the a survey link where you just fill your attendance, and there's no issue. You don't need to worry about it. Thank you, everyone. I do have a lovely weekend. So we'll meet tomorrow, same time. 4:15, that's when the room opens and training starts 4:30 proper. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you. Bye.